there's a new foundation that just launched that people either love or hate. And so I was so excited when this showed up in the mail. I actually got this from a Credo Beauty just PR package, and they ended up sending me the new Jones Road, what is this called? Moisture Tint. So this is the foundation that I've been seeing all over. Some people that I follow really enjoy this. Other people on TikTok absolutely hated it. So I'm here to tell you my thoughts. They actually sent me 2 shades. It comes in 12 shades. Now, Jones Road, if you don't know already, is Bobbi Brown's new brand. It launched sometime last year, I believe. And you guys know I've tried a few of her products. I really enjoy them, and I actually really love the Jones Road face pencil. That's one of my favorite things that she's made. So I'm excited to see how this works with the foundation. But I've got it pulled up here. So this is $44. It's called What the Foundation, and it's a tinted moisture balm that meets traditional foundation. It's supposed to have nourishing ingredients. It's supposed to work flawlessly with the face pencil, which I already know and love, so I'm excited to try it with it. It has a buildable light medium coverage, and it's supposed to be an innovative formula. They say it gives light to medium coverage and a little goes a long way, but if you pair it with the face pencils, you get higher coverage. It says it has more coverage than a tinted moisturizer, but less coverage than a traditional foundation. This is Bobbi's take on a perfect complexion product. So they recommend applying it with either your fingertips, a brush, or a sponge. But they do say for a more skin-like finish, they recommend warming the product up in your fingertips and applying it to your face with your hands. This will allow the formula to melt effortlessly into the skin. So I think I'm gonna be the lightest shade, which is Porcelain, I believe. Let's try this. You know, the one thing I've seen a lot of people talk about is the packaging, because it is kind of like a different type of packaging for the formula. It comes in like this little container. I actually really appreciate Jones Road's simple approach to packaging. I think it's cute, it's sleek, it's classic, but this is kind of an interesting way of approaching a foundation in something like this, because it seems to be more of a runny formula from what I've seen in videos. Okay, let's open this up. Yeah, so it's already kind of separated a bit into the cap. It has a little bit of a protector here, which is nice. Oh, whoa, wait, this is Porcelain? Hold on, I'm gonna open up the website and make sure that this is the lightest shade, because this might be too deep for me. It is. It's the lightest shade. Porcelain is the lightest shade, and it's, well, maybe it'll work, but it definitely looks deeper in the pan than I was expecting. Okay, so they sell a spatula separately on the website. That didn't come in my package, so I'm just going to work with what I've got here. I've seen people complain about the smell. It's not bad. Like, there's definitely a scent, but it's not what I was expecting based off of some people's reactions. It's, well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely like, it has a fragrance to it. It doesn't smell like a fragrance. It just, something in here is very highly fragranced, but it doesn't bother me. So here's what it looks like. I kind of wiped off a little bit back in from the lid into the jar. It almost looks, okay, it's got like a gel, moussey texture. Interesting. I'm just gonna kind of play with it on the back of my hand before going into the product on my face. Okay, well, it looks like this shade might actually work. As I'm blending it in, it feels very much like a rich face cream. That's kind of the texture behind it. It does have a little bit of coverage, but it feels very, very skin-like, which you know, it fits with the theme of Jones Road so far. I mean, they have very skincare-based products. So I'm just gonna go in with the brush that I used to pick up the product off of the lid. And I didn't apply any moisturizer or anything to my skin. I'm just gonna use the tiniest amount. I'm just using what's left on the brush. I literally haven't even dipped into the product after wiping off the excess back into the pan. So let's just start working this into the skin. Okay, well, I actually really like this kind of balmy texture. It's a very, very hydrating feel. This has no claims for longevity either, but I am gonna try to do a little bit of a wear test with this because I wanna see, you know, how it works on me after wearing it for a few hours. I'm just taking what's left on the side of the brush and applying it to my forehead. So even though this looked kind of dark in the pan, it's a very, very sheer formula, and I feel like it's pretty forgiving as far as the color goes. So I do feel like it's blending into my complexion perfectly fine. Yeah, it has a very rich face cream, almost tacky texture to it. I can already tell that this would not be a product that you would want to build up like crazy. It's very much a no makeup kind of a product. I actually really like how this looks right now, and it feels so hydrating on the skin. I have combination skin, so I do tend to get oily in the T-zone, which I'm already kind of like wondering how that's gonna go today. So that's the main thing that I'm going to be paying attention to. But other than that, guys, like I don't know. I think that looks really pretty. It made my skin look really fresh and healthy. I wouldn't say it's similar to any foundation that I have. I find that it's blending into the skin really well. It's not clinging onto any dry patches. I think the strangest thing, or the thing that I'm gonna have to get used to a little bit, is the texture. It just has more of like a tacky, balmy texture to it. Like it's very sticky feeling. I know I keep saying like a rich cream, but that's genuinely what it feels like. It just feels like such a rich face balm. I accidentally got a little bit more on my fingertips as I was closing that, so I'm just gonna use it on my jawline to add a bit more coverage and then blend that down the neck. It's interesting because the creators that I've seen really enjoy this are creators that I typically have a similar product taste to. So I'm really, really curious about how this is gonna wear. Okay, let's go ahead and try this out with the Jones Road Face Pencil. So I actually have 2 shades. I have shade 1 and 2. I'm gonna use shade 2, which has a little bit more pink to it. I love these pencils so much. They are a little bit of a drier formula, which I can see how this would pair well with this foundation, because having a more like balmy texture in the foundation helps to blend this formula out. Normally when I'm using other foundations with this concealer or face pencil, I always have to make sure that I am really hydrating the skin or even the under eye area before going in with this. It just helps it blend much better. So I'm just applying this with my fingertips. That's the best way to apply this product in my opinion. Just going over any blemishes, kind of retracing any areas that I want additional coverage. And you can see how much that really brightens up the face. But somehow it doesn't ever look like I'm wearing makeup when I use these, which I absolutely love. Okay, and now I am going to set the face. I always set the face. I can't not set my makeup. It doesn't wear well on me no matter what product it is without a little powder. So I'm gonna take the classic Laura Mercier powder and just take a bit of this on a brush. And I'm gonna try to take a small amount, you know, because I want it to still look fresh, but I also wanna make sure it feels like it's set. So I'm just gonna take a bit of this all over the face to lock things in. I'm sure some people don't set this kind of a formula if they have super dry skin, you know? I just feel like I need to. So I'm gonna quickly just finish up the rest of my face so we can get to a wear test. And I'll have all the products that I'm gonna be using in the description box down below. So I'll see you in a second when my makeup is all done. Okay, so I kept my makeup really fresh to kind of fit the vibe of this foundation. And now we're gonna do a wear test. So I am filming this a little bit later than what I normally hope to do with a foundation review, but I just opened my mail, so it's 6:12 p.m. I'm gonna try to do as long of a wear test as possible tonight, just to really see if this gets super dewy or what happens. So I will say I am feeling it on the skin, but it feels like skincare. I know I feel like I've said that a few times, but it really does feel like a rich, heavy cream. Like the foundation doesn't feel heavy, but you definitely feel it on the skin. I'm interested to see if it soaks into the skin throughout the day and if that goes away or what, so I'll keep you posted on that. Besides that, I feel like it looks really fresh. I think all my products applied on top really well. It's a formula that I do not have anything to compare it to. Like it's very, very unique. So I'm really interested to see how I end up liking this as I wear it. To be honest, it's actually better than I personally thought it would be based off of the very extreme mixed reviews. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel, but it looks really beautiful on the skin. I think my skin looks healthy. It looks like I'm not wearing foundation in a way, but it feels like I'm wearing skincare. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. So I will see you guys back here to check in with you and to show you how this looks at the end of the night, and we'll see what my final thoughts are. So I will see you guys in just a little bit. All right, you guys, I'm back in the studio. It is currently 1:17 a.m., so I've been wearing this for a little bit over 7 hours. And I must say, I mean, I was expecting to have a little bit of oil in the T-zone. That's very typical for me. I was expecting almost more than what I've got going on because of how balmy this was at the beginning. I'm actually surprised because sometimes when it comes to a product that is super hydrating, after a few hours, it will start to separate, and I'm not noticing any separation. There's a tiny bit around the nose, but that's where I get the most oily, and I also layered in the concealer stick. But overall, I feel like it looks pretty put together. You guys know that I normally don't just wear a foundation without doing some touch-ups through the day. I have to. I feel like personally with the oil in my T-zone, so I do like to go in with a little bit of powder after doing a wear test, just so we can see how it would touch up if I were to, you know, only have time to touch up after 7 hours of wearing this. So I'm going to start by applying it to one half of the face, just using my brush. Oh, there's an eyelash on my face. There we go. I'm going to kind of take it through the forehead. I feel like the forehead is what got super dewy. But not that long ago, I was just sitting with my husband on the couch, and he thought that even though I felt like it was super dewy, he didn't think it looked bad. Like, he just thought it looked like my skin. So that's a little touch up with some Laura Mercier powder. Honestly, you guys, it looks brand new. It really does. Like, there's no separation or anything like that, and it could be the fact that I didn't have to use much product whatsoever. I didn't use that much of the foundation, and so there's not really a visible difference between areas where it may have rubbed off and where it didn't. However, I do feel like there's still longevity. Like, I do still feel like the foundation is very much on my skin. Wow, well, that's what it looks like after touching up with powder. So let's talk about this. Based off my first impressions, this actually impressed me more than I thought it would. The formula is very unique, very different. It's unlike anything that I've tried before. For me, it would not be a foundation that I would choose to wear for glamorous long wear occasions. This is definitely a running errands, skincare feeling type of product. I will say I do feel like the packaging is gonna get really messy because for me, I want to keep this protector here to keep it fresh, but it's already getting so messy on the lid after using it just one time. And so I almost wish that it was in something else. I'm not sure. Maybe they did test other packaging and maybe it was too thick for like a pump bottle. I'm not really sure. So that is something that is kind of a con for me. I mean, I do like the glass jar, but I just feel like it's gonna get messier and messier. Another pro for me was how little I needed. I feel like this is, again, not a full coverage foundation. I would definitely say it's more of a sheer to medium, which is what I think they claimed it was anyway. I wouldn't even try to really build it up. I would use concealer to add more coverage with this because it has such a thick, balmy texture. You wouldn't want to like cake that up on your face with this formula. It just wouldn't work in my opinion. But overall, like, I'm way more impressed than I thought I would. I honestly was not sure which direction this would go, but it looks really nice on the skin. So we'll see. I don't know. I feel like the packaging is the only thing that may deter me from using this as much as I would like to on like an everyday basis. I feel like it would be a very good no makeup everyday type of product. I also wanted to mention that the fragrance did not last on my skin whatsoever, so that didn't bother me, even though it is kind of strong in the beginning when you first open the product. It's not something that bothered me, so definitely pleasantly surprised with this one. I would say, let's see, out of a 10, gosh, it looks really nice. I would say 7.5 or 8, just because it's a different formula. The packaging kind of docked off some points for me, but it looks really nice. And after touching it up after 7 hours, I feel like I could wear it for another 7 hours. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it really worked for me. Let me know in the comments down below if you're interested in a formula like this. Is this something that you guys have tried? Because again, I feel like people either love this or hate this. I'm definitely leaning toward the love side. I definitely am very impressed at how things were today. So I would love to hear in the comments down below what you guys think about this formula. If you've tried it or if you haven't tried it, you know, is it something that interests you or is it something you're gonna skip? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber but you wanna be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it from me today. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.